Here's something nobody talks about. The most attractive profiles on dating apps get fewer real dates than average-looking professionals. More matches, more ghosting, less actual coffee. And once you understand why, you'll never think about your profile the same way again. Most people assume that more matches equals more dates. The math seems obvious, but here's what actually happens. A profile that pulls 50+ matches a week is mostly pulling low-intent swipes. People who swiped right out of reflex, boredom, or novelty. They were never serious about meeting. The result? A flooded inbox and a completely empty calendar. Think about how the Stanley Cup tumbler went from a niche hiking product to something people were lining up for at 6 a.m. Was it a better water bottle? Not really. It became a status swipe, something people grabbed because everyone else was grabbing it. Attractive dating profiles work the same way. When a profile looks aspirational, people swipe right as a low-stakes, why not? The same way they'd add something to a cart they never check out. The swipe costs nothing. The date costs time, energy, and vulnerability. That gap is where ghosting lives. A profile optimized for maximum visual appeal sends one message: I'm attractive. That's a great signal for getting swiped. It's a weak signal for filtering for someone who actually wants to meet up this week. The profiles that convert matches into dates aren't the prettiest ones. They're the most specific ones. Specificity filters out the tourists and pulls in the people who are genuinely interested in you, not just your photos. In e-commerce, there's a metric called conversion rate. It's not about how many people visit your store, it's about how many actually buy. A store with 10,000 visitors and a 0.5% conversion rate makes fewer sales than a store with 2,000 visitors and a 5% conversion rate. Dating apps work exactly the same way. Your match count is your traffic. Your confirmed dates are your conversions. And most people are obsessing over traffic while ignoring conversion entirely. 3 specific friction points kill the match-to-date conversion before most people even realize it's happening. First, a profile that attracts the wrong people from the start. Low-intent matches who are never going to follow through. Second, no clear system for moving the conversation forward, so both people stall and whoever gets bored first disappears. Third, no structured ask. The moment where someone actually proposes a specific plan. Without that ask, the conversation just drifts, and drifting conversations always end the same way. Research on messaging patterns in online dating, including work by Hitch, Hortaxu, and Ariely, consistently shows that reply rates and date outcomes are driven by message quality and profile specificity, not match volume. A profile attracting 5 to 10 highly specific matches, people who genuinely resonated with something concrete in your profile, will outperform a profile with 50 vague ones almost every time. Because those 5 to 10 people already self-selected, they were interested before the first message was sent. That's the difference between a cold lead and a warm one. The single biggest shift you can make is moving from a profile designed to appeal to everyone to a profile designed to resonate deeply with the right person. Generic profiles attract generic interest, specific profiles attract specific people, and specific people are the ones who actually show up. Instead of loves to travel, try planning a solo trip to Lisbon in March. Recommendations welcome. That one line filters out the tourists and invites a real conversation from someone who has an actual opinion. Research by Ellison, Hino, and Gibbs found that after the initial visual impression, what drives trust and reply likelihood is self-presentation. Your prompts, your headlines, the clarity of what you're communicating about who you are. A great photo gets the swipe, a great prompt earns the reply, and a reply is worth infinitely more than a match that never speaks. Most people spend 90% of their energy on photos and 10% on prompts. Flip that ratio and watch what happens. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The reason most conversations die isn't because the other person lost interest. It's because no one made a clear, low-pressure ask. There's a massive difference between, "We should hang out sometime," and "I'd love to grab coffee." Are you more of a Saturday morning or a weekday evening person? The first creates ambiguity. The second creates momentum. Iyengar and Lepper's research on choice overload shows that vague, open-ended situations cause people to disengage and do nothing. A specific 2-option ask removes that friction entirely. It doesn't feel pushy, it feels like someone who knows what they want, and that's attractive. The most attractive profiles on dating apps get ghosted more, not because of who they are, but because of what their profile is optimized for. Swipes are not dates. Match volume is not conversion. The fix isn't better photos. It's a profile that filters for intent, prompts that earn replies, and a clear ask that moves the conversation to a confirmed plan. You were never the problem. You were just missing the right system. If this reframe hit home, drop system in the comments. I want to know how many of you have been optimizing for swipes when you should have been optimizing for dates. And if you want the actual step-by-step, the profile prompts, the message sequence, the exact ask script. The link is in the description. It's called the Ghost-Proof Dating Accelerator. It's built specifically for busy professionals who are already matching and still not getting dates. 30 days, 20 minutes a day, 3 confirmed dates or your money back.